Hey, Danny Ray with Pinnacle Quote Life Insurance Specialist, just coming today to talk about a certain topic that a lot of people aren't aware of, and the pros and cons of this topic as well. First and foremost, I just want to say that my heart and prayers and my thoughts go out to the people still of Las Vegas that had just an unbelievable Sunday. That just tragic event that happened in Vegas. So my heart goes out to the families, and the victims of that tragedy. All right, so let's go talk about something that's pretty important topic. People not really aware of, or it gets a bad name. All right, there are non-exam life insurance policies. Now, non-exam life insurance policy could be what's called a whole life policies. Primarily, a lot of the whole life policies that people get, there's usually a non-exam. Okay, and then also there's term life insurance policies that have a non-exam as well. Um, and we'll go over a couple of those as well, as far as the difference between the both. Now, no exam policy, basically has pros and cons. The good stuff is it's quick. You don't have to wait. When you go through underwriting, it's usually could be anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how your age is and what your health history is. Obviously, the healthier you are, the quicker you'll get the policy approved through underwriting. See, a non-exam, okay, is very quick, despite health issues. Okay, you can have health issues and get a non-exam policy. You know, now keep this in mind. Non-exam policies are normally more expensive. Again, whole life is geared for your entire life, so they're going to be more expensive anyway. So, in essence, non-exams for term, okay, is usually high-risk life insurance, where the carrier don't have your fluids, so they really don't know how to assess risk. So they need your blood and your urine to know if you have any kidney issues or any kind of cholesterol, if your cholesterol is high, if your blood sugar is elevated. A lot of people walk around, they have diabetes, they don't even know it. So statistically, um, it's harder for them to rate you, okay, as far as rating class if they don't have your fluids. So a non-exam tends to be more expensive on a term. And if you're healthy and young, it's really not. It's I've seen some non-med policies at a term that were actually just as cost the same as a fully underwritten term policy. Guys, again, if you're in your 20s and you're healthy, pretty much the best route to go. Okay, and the insurance companies know that they spend $400 to $800 for an exam. You don't pay for it; they do. So they have sweat in the game too. But so they pretty much over the years know that this wasted money. For people that mortality rate for people in their 20s and early 30s is pretty much slim and none. Okay, so let's talk about no medical exams versus traditional term policies. Now, at the end of the day, okay, a no medical exam life insurance policy against a traditional term life insurance policy is pretty much similar. Okay, the main difference, of course, is one has no exam, the other one's a fully underwritten policy. Okay, now people with serious health conditions can get guaranteed coverage. Now, again, going back, don't confuse the non-exam there as far as whole life. There's non-exam whole life. The majority of the whole life policies that consumers get, okay, are no exam, unless of course they're looking for $2 million to $2 million in coverage, which is only a handful of carriers out there that would go ahead and do that. Okay, and it's going to be very, very expensive. Okay, so with that being said, no exam policies again are more expensive. Okay, give me an example like diabetics is a perfect example. A lot of diabetics walk around because it's a trying disease, okay, illness, but it can be managed, okay. You can have a normal life, but unfortunately, a lot of diabetics out there don't think they can get life insurance, so they always think I just have to get a guaranteed issue whole life because I'm not going to get coverage. That could not be farther from the truth. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of diabetics out there that are grossly overpaying for life insurance, and they're grossly underinsured, and they only because they don't know any different. And if you're a very well managed diabetic and your A1C is in check, 7 or better, you can get the top rates in the country on a term policy. Okay, that's just unfortunate that's stereotyped that way. Now let's talk about the different kinds of no exam life insurance policies, like the whole life. I'm talking about whole life right now. Okay, the traditional ones that you get for 25 to 50 grand, the small burial policies, things of that nature. Okay, now they have a graded death benefit. Okay, with this policy, money is released per year and increasing per year, okay, to your family. Level final expense is a typical burial policy. You get the $12,000 to $15,000, enough to cover a traditional funeral. These are smaller amount policies that are have very lenient questioning. They know what the reason's for. Okay. Now remember, insurance companies, when they get your premium, they leverage your money out. I'll give you an example: $100 worth of premium, they leverage it out 10 to I'm sorry, 100 to 1. So that $100, they can leverage it out to $10,000 to buy U.S. Treasury bills. Okay, so again, they're very lenient in certain questions. The whole life they know you're going to be paying for it for many years. Okay, now they got simplified issues, which is optimal for people that have okay health. All right, this would prefer, pretty much they wouldn't take a medical exam, but there will be a questionnaire. Okay, and they're a little more stingier as far as health is concerned. They might get a prescription check, things of that nature. Okay, so it's a little more harder to qualify for that policy. You got to be healthy. Okay, and then there's a guaranteed issue life insurance policy, and this is the policy that, again, if you have severe health issues, you can get this policy. You have stage 4 cancer, you can get this policy. Okay, again, this policy usually comes with a graded period, depending on the carrier, between 2 and 3 years. Okay, what that means is if you were to die in the 2 or 3 years, whatever the graded period is on that particular product or that carrier, the premiums that you paid into it would be refunded back to the beneficiary, usually plus 10%. So you get more out of it than you put into it. You really have nothing to lose, everything to gain. Okay, you actually earn a little bit of money on it. And if you outlive the 2 years or the 3 years, again, depending on the carrier and what their rules are, then the policy pays out in full. All right. And now, as far as right now, the other non-exam life insurance companies out there, or the policies out there, is non-exam terms, which I have 3 carriers that I primarily use. I mean, there's probably a dozen out there, but I primarily use the top 3. As far as underwriting is good, they're very lenient, good customer service. Okay. So I'll go over a couple of these companies as well. Best insurance companies out there for non-meds. And you can check my blog as well for these reviews. I do review these companies on my blog. Okay, is SBLI, Savings Bank Life Insurance Company, Massachusetts. They'll give you a non-med up to $500,000. I've had a non-med with SBLI go in force 3 days from application until the policy was enforced. The client paid for it. 3 days. Now, a traditional term, $500,000, would probably take 3 to 6 weeks. So the non-meds have its benefits, and the policy is within a couple of dollars in price, which is nice. Then you got American National, which AKA Anico, which is a fantastic company. They'll actually give you a non-med up to $1 million. Okay, $1 million. Okay, they just order an APS from your doctor. Okay, now that's your medical records. Now, the other one that I like is Foresters. Foresters has a fantastic non-med product up to $400,000. It's a living benefits, so they have a lot of options attached to the policy. And same policy up to $150,000, up to 80 years old with a non-medical. That's unheard of. Okay, and then it's also Fidelity Life has a really good non-exam policy. Okay, it's extremely fast coverage. Decent health if you have decent health between the ages of 18 and 65. They'll give you up to $25,000 to $250,000 in coverage on a term product, and they also has a very reasonable life insurance product for seniors aged 50 to 70. Okay, so with that being said, those are just a few examples of non-meds term life insurance policies out there that are really good. Again, here at Pinnacle Quote, okay, we're actually contracted with all these companies. But again, if my 25 years experience, the best ones, in my opinion, for non-meds for term is SBLI up to $500,000, Anico, American National up to $1 million, and Foresters, again, fantastic product. Foresters has a living benefits non-med up to $400,000, fantastic. Okay, so again, going over how much life insurance you need to have. I went through this in a previous video. You want to calculate how much debt you have. How much your children might need as they get to adulthood, okay, college tuition, funeral expenses, income replacement. Again, going back to reiterate with my first video, life insurance, how I see it, okay, the best way I'd go with, the most simplistic way of doing it is, if you have kids under 5, you need 15 to 20 times your income. You got kids between 6 and 10 years old, you need 15 times your income. To ages 10 to 12 to about 10. You want to make sure you have enough coverage and enough income replacement until your kids get out of college, okay, and they're throwing a cap and gown up in the air. All right. Also, layered policies is very key to make it more affordable and not make sure you're not paying for something you don't need down the line. I'm going to explain that in another video. Okay. So now a lot of people say, yeah, not to read out what I just said. How quick can you get a no exam life insurance policy? Again, usually takes a week to 10 days. Again, I've had clients have a policy enforced in 3.5 days. Okay, but a normal rule of thumb is about 10 days, week and a half. It all depends how fast you're proactively. You take the phone interview because again, non-meds, most of them, the carrier's going to call you and ask you questions. You pass the interview, the policy's approved, and usually approval and issue takes a couple of days. Okay, now again, here at Pinnacle Quote, we specialize in all impairments. We specialize in non-medical exams, whether it be whole life and also term. Okay, we're also term experts. Okay, we specialize in that. So, I mean, whatever your life insurance needs are, return of premium, GULs, guaranteed universal life policies. We have them up to 121 years old with the gain surrender value and cash value. I got over 200 products at my disposal for my clients. So again, we're not like a guy down the road that's going to pull a life insurance policy, one size fit all off the rack. We will tailor make you a policy that fits your needs and your profile, okay, and do what's best for you. So again, it's Danny Ray with Pinnacle Quote. Okay, you can reach us on the web at pinnaclequote.com. We also have a chat box at the bottom of the window that you can ask me questions anytime during the day, and I get back to you pretty fast. Also, you can request an appointment right from the website. Okay, you can request an appointment, or you can just give me a call. I'm always made available to you. I'm very meticulous about getting back to people quickly. You'll never have to worry about me you leaving a message and not hearing from me for 2 days. I usually get back to people within 30 minutes or at least the end of the day. All right, so you can reach me at 855-380-3300 extension 2. And again, any questions in reference to life insurance, please, I welcome you to call. And have a great day. Be safe, and I'll speak to you soon.